Welcome to the Workamper Show, brought to you by Workamper.com. This podcast helps you discover how to finance your RV travel dreams. Each one of our episodes will introduce you to people who are already living the RV lifestyle or to work camping opportunities all around the U.S. You'll also learn how to hit the road the right way and make the most of every opportunity. Now let's turn over today's show to your host, Greg Gerber.
Today I get to interview a woman who is a member of the Fireside RV Rental team to talk about how the company can help people considering the RV lifestyle, as well as assist work campers in making money. Today's episode is sponsored by Workamper News. Much more than just a job listing website, when you put the tools of this professional service into action, you'll find out just how easy it can be to turn your work camping dreams into reality. A Workamper membership opens the door to a one-stop shop for all things work camping. Being the original resource for work camping, you'll find the largest number of job listings, be able to connect with the community of work campers, and view resources compiled by experts who've been enjoying the RV lifestyle for many years. If you're serious about leading a successful and enjoyable work camping lifestyle, then membership is for you. Join today at www.workamper.com. Embark on new adventures today with the support of Workamper News behind you. Stacy Maxon is the Chief Development Officer at Fireside RV Rental, a company that helps RV owners earn income by renting out their units. The firm also gives people contemplating the RV lifestyle a chance to experience it first without making a big purchase. Stacy has unique perspective because she has operated a franchise location with her husband, she works on the corporate side of the business, and she has lived full-time on the road with her family. In this episode, she explains how the Fireside RV rental model works, why it can be a smart way to test RV life before buying, and how work campers may soon find opportunities with Fireside locations across the country. Stacy also shares what it takes to run a franchise, how the flexible business can be a lucrative money-making option for full-time RVers, and why this could be a great fit for people looking to blend work and travel. To tell us more, please welcome Stacy Maxon, the Chief Development Officer at Fireside RV Rental, to the show. Thanks for joining me today, Stacy. I appreciate your time. Tell us a little bit about Fireside RV Rental and how you got involved with the company.
Yeah, so Fireside RV Rental is a RV rental management company. So what that means is we actually rent out other people's RVs for them. So I actually started with Fireside back in 2019. I had a franchise in upstate New York, and my husband and I ran that for about 4 years. And then I started working on the corporate side of Fireside. And it's funny because now we're back to also running a Fireside, but this time in Florida. So that's where we've settled at this point in our life.
Okay, so you run a franchise and you're part of the corporation.
Yes. My husband, he runs the franchise more than I do at this point. He's also a certified RV tech. So he's able to do all the work on the units and rent them out. So it works really well.
That's very helpful, I am sure. So are these long-term rentals or short-term?
It's a mix, really. We have anyone that could be a weekender. It could be someone that's never rented before and wants to, or never RV'd before, and wants to try out using an RV. Or we even have long-term rentals for people that have had fires on their homes and have insurance covering their rental for them. So it's a really good mixture. We even do festivals, events. We see it all.
Okay, super. The big RV Super Show in Florida every January. You folks are renting out RVs for people who might want to come and check it out?
Yeah, we have, I think, 8 franchises now in Florida. Our closest ones to Tampa are Lithia and Riverview. So yeah, we definitely have locations in the area where people can rent from.
Okay. When people are renting these things, are you delivering them to campsites for them, or are they picking them up at a specific location?
We do both. So if someone has the proper towing equipment, they can certainly come pick it up. Or if they want the convenience of us delivering it, we do that for them. So we deliver, set it all up. And then if they're new to RVing, we even do a complete walkthrough to show them how everything works.
That's a good idea. I was wondering, since you are renting other people's RVs for them and somebody shows up without the proper towing equipment, what happens?
That actually hasn't happened yet. Really, when we're going through the reservation process, we're checking to see what type of vehicle they have and confirm at that point that they have a 4-inch receiver, that they have electronic brake controller, and that the type of truck, so if it's a 1,500, a 2,500, a 1-ton, it's going to be consistent with the weight of what they're towing. So I do remember one time in New York, we had a smaller unit where someone came and they didn't have the brake controller, but we had an electronic one that used Bluetooth that they could use. Most of the time, we vet people pretty well, and then we have the hitch for them to use for that specific trailer.
Oh, super. So people who don't have any equipment can still get all hooked up if they want to try it. Will you
Yes.
install a hitch for them?
We don't install the hitch. That is a liability on our part.
Right.
Insurance doesn't allow us to do that, but we can show you how to do it and then watch you do it. But the renter actually has to be the last one to touch that towing equipment.
Okay, makes sense. Do you rent things other than RVs?
No, some locations I think might do utility trailers. We have add-ons that can be added to an RV reservation, but not anything that is separate from the RV itself.
I was thinking like e-bikes. I think I saw a picture of one of those on the website and wondered if all the
Oh, yes.
locations rented those.
Not all locations, but what we do is they're considered an add-on. So once you book the RV reservation, there'll be different packages of things that you can add on to the reservation. And then each location is a little bit different. So that could be e-bikes, linen packages.
Dishes?
Yep, dishes are actually included already. So we have a full kitchen set that's going to be included, as well as your toilet paper, your septic tabs, and then anything that's needed to actually set up the RV. So any wheel chucks, the sewer hose, drinking hose, that's all included already.
Okay, very good. When people want to rent their RVs, who pays for insurance on that? Is that something that the renter pays and the person who owns the RV?
Yes. So when we rent out an RV, the renter pays for insurance that's going to cover it during the rental period. And then the RV owner is going to have to still have a policy that's going to cover it outside of the rental period so that it's covered when it's sitting on the storage lot.
Okay, so they're not renting it from their location where the RVer who owns it might live, but they are bringing their RV to a central storage area where the renters come and pick up the units and deliver them.
Correct.
Okay.
We have tried it the other way, but we've found we're able to maximize bookings when it's at our storage lot. That way we're able to do all the cleaning, make sure that it's ready to go for rental. So it really maximizes their rentals by having it on site.
I would agree. How many locations do you have around the country right now?
We have about 70 locations.
Wow. Are there any states where there are locations open?
Yeah, we have some states that we don't have any locations yet, mostly in the Pacific Northwest. We just haven't gotten that far, but we have a lot on the East Coast, of course, with Texas being the busiest and biggest state. We have a lot of locations there.
Is this something a Workamper could do as far as owning a franchise?
It is. So you would have to make sure that you would be at one location for a set period of time. I'd say especially in the beginning, because it takes a little bit of work to learn the systems and get everything started. We actually have a full-time RVer that runs a location in Arizona, and he's set up at a campsite, and he actually stores the units at that campsite as well. So that's worked well for him. And then currently, my husband and I are also in a similar situation. So we are full-time RVers. We're in Florida for the winter, where we're going to be running this location. And then during the slower periods, you have time to travel throughout the United States.
That would be really nice. It's not something that a Workamper could do remotely, though, it doesn't sound like.
You can, but you would still want to have people on site to manage the cleanings, manage the deliveries. But there is a lot of it that can be done remotely as far as doing the bookings online. verifying the insurance and the contracts are in place before a rental goes out. You would just still need one person at least on site to manage all of those walkthroughs and deliveries.
Have any of the franchisees hired work campers to do that, to do the walkthroughs and clean the units and things like that?
We haven't yet, but we've certainly been talking about it. I think that would be a great idea, especially for one, our seasonal locations. So like Michigan, Wisconsin, New York, they go from 0 to 60 in days. We have locations that have 30 units and then they're just fully booked throughout the whole summer. So I think that could be a great opportunity for a work camper, if they're in that location or want to go to that location, to be able to help with cleanings, deliveries. If they have any RV repair certifications or experience, that could be a great way that they could help out as well.
That's neat. So should they look for a location and then pitch the idea to the franchisee that I'd like to come work for you? Or will this be something that the companies will actively seek if they decide to do that?
No, we actually did talk to our franchises recently, and we're going to have all the locations that are interested post the jobs out on the Workamper website. So they can go there and look to see if anyone's hiring in those areas.
Well, that'd be great. And some of the things that they would be doing as work campers would be managing the reservations. Is that all done online?
Yeah, that's all done online. It would really depend on what the specific location needs. But like I mentioned, it could be cleaning, it could be doing walkthroughs with customers. So they're renters coming in and they'll have to show them how everything works in the camper. If they have the proper tow equipment, they could deliver units to local campgrounds. And then there are some instances where someone may need help with the online. So it could be confirming reservations, sending quotes, or even working on social media if that's something they need.
I think that's a no-brainer for your company to employ work campers. It's like you said, because many of these locations are year-round, but they get slammed during the busy seasons. So why not have a temporary worker come in and work a couple of hours a week to keep things going?
Yeah, exactly. And I would say probably half of our locations do have somewhere where the work campers could come and stay. But then we do have those that may be having all their units at a storage location where the work camper may need to find somewhere else to stay. And that wouldn't necessarily be a part of their pay. It would be outside of that.
Is there a maximum to the length of time somebody could rent an RV with Fireside?
We don't have a maximum, but it does have to be in 30-day increments so that it's not on any of the tenant laws that the state may have.
What do you mean by that?
There's certain rental and tenant laws where if someone stays more than 30 days, they have certain rights to the property. So we don't want any squatters or anything like that taking over the RVs.
That makes sense. Absolutely. Is it cost effective for somebody who wanted to try the RV lifestyle to rent a longer term unit?
Yeah, definitely. I would say I've had probably 6 RVs in my life. And sometimes you buy one and it's just not something that you wish you followed through. If you're going to be looking into the RV life, I think maybe even doing a few short-term rentals to get a feel of, do you like a motorhome? Do you like a fifth wheel? And really trying that out before you spend all this money on purchasing an RV.
Would the renters need to take driving lessons to learn how to back up a fifth wheel?
They don't. We do ask if they've had other towing experience. So most people have towed something in their lifetime, and it depends on their comfort level too. So if that's something that someone wants to learn, obviously our franchise owners or their workers are experienced enough to do that driving lesson with them if that's something that they're interested in.
What are the requirements if a work camper wanted to become a franchise owner?
Some of the requirements to be a franchise owner, I wouldn't say it's a requirement, but we are a Christian-based business, so we want them to be comfortable with that. Also, if they've had previous business experience, that's a plus, but not a necessity. But really, our CEO, he likes to just interview everyone and see if they're a good fit. We want them to enjoy working with us, and we really look at it as a community. So we want someone that'll fit within that community. But we've had people that have RV experience, have had no RV experience. So I really feel like there's not any really set requirements.
Okay. Do the franchisees have to find their own units to rent, or is this something that is part of the national franchise? If you would like you to participate, we have these locations. You would have to take your RV to one of these locations in order to rent it out.
No, so we actually have different marketing in place to get the RVs for the franchises. And then we also teach them in our training how to pitch the idea to any RV owners.
Okay. What's the cost involved in acquiring a franchise?
The franchise opportunity is $35,000. We do offer a discount if someone decides to pay in full. And then we do offer in-house financing as well.
What about in-house training? Somebody wants to learn how this operation is supposed to work the right way. Do you do that, or is everything done online?
Typically, we have everything online. I'm actually the person that does the training and onboarding. So I work with everyone online by watching the training videos, and then I do a weekly Zoom call to make sure I answer any questions. But if they want to see a location in action, we can make arrangements for them to visit any of our 70 locations.
Okay, that sounds fair enough. So you have been an RVer for a number of years. You and how many people are in your family?
Yep. So it's my husband, myself, and our 3 kids. We've been full-timing for 2 years. And prior to that, we got our first RV actually when my husband and I got married. So it's been almost 20 years now that we've been RVing as a whole.
Wow, that's great. What kind of RV do you have personally?
Yep. So right now we have a Grand Design Solitude.
So fifth wheel?
Yes.
Okay. Well, what do you like about fifth wheels?
It just seems to be roomier, especially when you're in it full time. I think I really love drivable units, but I don't know. I think with our large family, it's hard to find a layout with that. So the RV we have now, it's a funny story because it was last year, we were in Vegas and our RV that we were in, it was another fifth wheel, was totaled. Yeah, that part's not funny. But so we actually had to leave the RV there. We put all of our belongings in a U-Haul. Luckily, our truck didn't have any issues. And then we drove from Vegas to Florida. And en route, we actually purchased the RV that we're in now. So I bought it sight unseen, but it actually ended up being great because I didn't know it at the time, but it has a dishwasher, like a built-in dishwasher. So as a mom with 3 kids, I was like, that is amazing. That's more than I could have ever asked for.
Stacy, you have 3 kids. You've got 3 built-in dishwashers. Hey, I know what you mean. Where do you like to go traveling?
I really loved going out west because being in New York, I had never witnessed any scenery like that before. Utah was just amazing. We really loved Bryce Canyon. But being in Florida right now, we've taken a couple trips to the Keys, and that's amazing as well. I just love the hiking, the outdoors, like being able to paddleboard or kayak. Anywhere I can do something like that, I'm happy.
As a full-time RVer, does that mean that Florida is your domicile state?
It is now, yes. So we just recently switched from New York to Florida.
Okay. That probably saved you a couple of extra dollars on taxes and things like that, too.
Yes, exactly. And one of the things that my oldest son is actually happiest about is now that we did that, he will be able to get his driver's license, his permit at the age of 15, which is a year earlier than if we had kept New York. So I made him happy.
That's funny. And I like that you said that you like fifth wheels. And you had mentioned earlier the opportunity to rent an RV to see which kind you'd like. I think that's just a really smart idea before you plunk down tens, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars on an RV to see whether the whole family could fit in a Class C, or would they need a Class A, or is a fifth wheel the way to go? So that's neat that you folks make that available to people.
Yeah, and what's great is because we do RV rental management and we have such a variety of units, like we could even have the exact style at one of our locations that you're looking at so that you can rent out that model to make sure that you actually like it.
You might have to fly to Vegas or something to pick it up, but it'd be a great opportunity to test that model. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Do franchise owners have to be skilled in maintenance in order to make this work?
They don't. It's definitely easier. I'm sure anyone that's been in an RV realizes that something always breaks. So if you have the ability to be handy, it is nice because those last minute fixes you can handle yourself because you don't necessarily have an RV tech available at all times to have them fix that for you. But we've had plenty of people that, don't have that skill and have still been successful in the business.
Wonderful. Where can people get more information if they'd like to learn how to open a franchise or rent a vehicle?
Yeah, so if you're interested in the franchise opportunity, you can go to FiresideRVRentalFranchise.com. And if you're interested in renting an RV or even renting out your RV, you can go to FiresideRVRental.com.
It's good that you mentioned that, renting out your own RV. So for work campers who might be out and about during what they would be their off season, like Wisconsin, getting out of there in the winter, they can rent their RV while they are traveling. Is that right?
Yeah, we've had some instances where there's been world schooling families, so they decided to go out of the country. So at that point, they could keep their unit with one of the franchise owners and they can rent it out and earn passive income while they're doing other traveling.
Oh, that's a good opportunity for people as well. Super. So you've given us the places where people can go to check out for more information, and we will include those links in the show notes. So thank you, Stacy. I appreciate it. Anything else you'd like Workampers to know about Fireside?
No, just I love the work camping opportunity, and we hope that you'll consider us to be one of the spots to work camp at.
Stacy Maxon gave us a detailed look at how Fireside RV Rental works, from managing other people's RVs to offering short-term and long-term rentals for everything from weekend getaways to emergency housing situations. She explained how their centralized storage model helps maximize bookings, why renters are carefully vetted for safety, and how the company supports new RVers and experienced travelers with delivery, setup, and training. Stacy also described the growing opportunity for work campers to find seasonal work with franchise owners by cleaning rental RVs, providing customer walkthroughs, assisting with deliveries, and helping at high-demand seasonal locations. She outlined the money-making aspects of being a Fireside RV Rental franchise owner. Some franchisees are full-time RVers themselves, but success in the business comes down to organization, customer service, and a willingness to learn the system. If you'd like to learn more about renting an RV or placing your own unit into the rental program, visit FiresideRVRental.com. And if you're interested in exploring a franchise opportunity, go to FiresideRVRentalFranchise.com to get started. Today's episode is brought to you by the featured employers at Workamper.com. These Workamper employers have taken the extra step to share some photos and detailed information about their Workamper programs with you. Check them out today. Opportunities exist for solos, couples, and families, whether they are full-time, part-time, seasonal, or even long-term jobs. Some are income opportunities and others involve volunteering at locations throughout the United States. Go to www.workamper.com/FE to meet the featured employers today. If you're an employer seeking to hire work campers, then you can learn how to benefit from year-round recruiting by becoming a featured employer. Visit www.workamper.com/FE details. That's all for this week's show. I'll be interviewing another work camping couple next week who has worked several jobs, including doing remote work, during the nearly 2 years they've been traveling. I'll have that interview for you on the next episode of The Work Camper Show. Thank you for listening.